guys, and happy Thursday. Welcome back to our show. My name is Digna.
And my name is Sabi.
And we are
The Social Soda.
We have an amazing episode for you guys today. We are at the Aesthetic Center for Plastic Surgery. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in Memorial area. We have Dr. Paul Fortes.
Right.
Okay, I said it right. And Virgie Ornelas. Okay, so we will be chatting with them here pretty soon. But first, we're going to get into... Actually, we want to thank our sponsor, Robie Chapa from Geneva Financial.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being our sponsor. So if you guys need a loan for your home, it's, buying and selling season is right around the corner. So reach out to us and we will get you into contact. Also, a reminder to please go follow, share, subscribe, all of the above to all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
It's at The Social Soda on all of them.
And
So.
the only one that's different is Twitter. That's at The Social Soda 1.
I've been using Twitter a lot more lately.
Have you?
Yeah.
I just started using it. I started using it a few years ago and then fell off and then started using it again. So...
I joined Twitter because I wanted to follow Will Ferrell because I
You
think
did
he's
tell me that story.
I got a Twitter account solely to follow Will Ferrell.
The first time I got my Twitter when this group followed me, and I was like, what? I've been followed by famous musicians, but I guess this was when Twitter was so new, so everybody was following everybody just to get the followers. So now that probably wouldn't even happen, but that was pretty awesome.
Oh, very cool. Look at that. So, guys, happy Thursday.
Yes, and you know what today is?
Throwback Thursday.
Absolutely, Throwback Thursday.
I love your picture. You look so hot.
Really? I
Yes.
got so much flack this morning over that picture.
Why?
Because I was wearing a bikini and it's not hot today. So, guys,
I'm sorry, but I'm so over this weather that I just wish for warmer weather and sun. I'm like way too pasty.
and the reason I posted my Throwback Thursday was because I was bungee jumping on the beach. And
Did you actually bungee jump?
I did. And I thought it was so much fun. And it so happened that I was wearing a bathing suit because who does not wear a bathing suit at the beach, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I was thinner and I was thinking, well, for who doesn't want to look better, be better. So perfect for today's episode. And then I saw your Throwback Thursday and you're doing...
Yeah, so I was actually in El Salvador with my family. Right after that, I had gone to Costa Rica, and I have a really cool picture from that. But yeah, just it's such a, I felt like right now, Women's Month, so I just felt like so powerful. And I always feel like a badass because I like to do really
Did you hit the target?
Yeah, no, I did.
I have really bad aim. I will go that way. So I was asking.
Yeah, surprisingly, I was quite good at it. So,
Wow,
but
awesome.
it wasn't like standard issue archery, but it
looked like fun though.
It was very fun. It was very fun. So,
Current
current events, yeah.
So what's up, guys?
What are you guys doing this weekend? We have a couple of things on the list for you guys. What do you have?
Well, aside from rodeo, because rodeo is happening right now, and who doesn't love going to the rodeo? I was in the middle of doing this and I had a malfunctioning with my phone, so I'm just going to go a few over the ones that I saw. And I think one was Magical Dessert Bar in Houston. It's a cute dessert place that just opened up, and they have magical treats in shape of unicorns. And if you know me, I love dessert, so this is kind of fun. I want to check that out.
And where's that at?
It's somewhere in like I said, I was in the middle of doing all this, and my phone just decided to.
That's okay. We'll link it in the.
Yeah,
in the
I have
box.
the links. I just don't know where it is. And then there's another one, anything for Selena Market and Movie at Karback Brewing Company. So I guess with everybody celebrating Selena since it was her anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also another one, George Lopez, the Wall World Tour. And that's, I think, at Toyota Center. I'm not sure.
So like the wall, like Trump. I was thinking the wall, like Pink Floyd. I was like, that's what my mind. I was like, why would he be singing Pink, like doing a stand up on Pink Floyd? But I get it now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then last but not least, the 2019 Fiesta Del Taco. So, yeah.
Well, very cool. Tacos. We all love tacos.
And all the information will be described in links in our description box.
So I have two, guys. So one of them is very close to where I live. I live in Jersey Village / Cypress area. The Cars and Coffee. So yeah. So they're gonna have the exotic imports. So I don't know if that is actually gonna happen though, because it's supposed to be thunderstorming all weekend long. But keep a pin on it. It is Houston, and just go see some really
weather's very erratic. So.
Awesome cars.
And that's pretty cool. I used to work in an exotic dealership, and they always had the Rolls, Bentleys, Ferraris, all those Lamborghinis. And when I first started working there, I'm such a girl because I didn't even know what the cars were. People would like, "Are you serious? You don't even know what?" No, I don't. And I used to get to drive them, like literally, they would let me drive them around the corner, down the street to the store. So that was a fun perk of working at a dealership. I was not a salesperson because I don't think I could ever sell a car because I don't know much about cars. But we actually had a Bugatti there one time.
Oh, and this is kind of what it's going to be. It's going to be like your McLarens, your, Ferraris. So it's going to be kind of like your more fancier. So that's going to be at Town Lake. And even if it doesn't go down, I mean, there's a really great coffee shop there, and there's just a lot of really tons of great coffee. Yeah. So there's a lot of restaurants out there. So it'll be nice to just kind of go dip in and out of all of those places. My next one is for next weekend, actually, and it's going to be St. Patrick's Day. So this is going to be for your pups. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So bring out your pups and let them celebrate.
We love our pets. The Social Soda loves their pets.
And this is going to be at Holler Brewing Company, and I'll list the address here. So it'll be really nice and festive. So it's going to be puppy friendly and kid friendly. So that's always good because, sometimes celebrating St. Patrick's Day can be a little
overwhelming.
Yeah, and not necessarily the best place to take your kids, right?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. But anyways, so guys, check that out. And also, let's take some time to say hi to our viewers.
Yes.
So we have Chris Rysons joining, Julia. Hi, Julia. Hi, Chris. Saveda.
Saveda has the best face.
Oh my gosh, she does her eyebrows. I mean, I love her. She's so stunning. John Obregon, I'm watching. Delmi y Valentino.
Delmi, congratulations on your new pregnancy, Mama.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yeah, and Jack Galloway.
And Jack's so funny. Hey, Jack.
Hey, guys, everybody watching, go ahead and share this. We want to get as many people tuned in because we are going to have some amazing information when it comes to plastic surgery, guys. It's not something that we should not talk about. It's an amazing thing. I don't have any plastic surgery, but I think that it's something that is very life-changing. Some of the things that happen to us are it's beyond our control, and sometimes a little bit of a nip tuck can really help you with your self-esteem, with making you feel better, and just changing your life.
I agree.
Well, with that being said, welcome, Dr. Paul, Virgie.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fortes and Virgie, for being here with us today.
Well, Virgie, you are patient coordinator.
Yes.
Now, what does that mean?
Oh, well, I
Sounds
think there's
to the right
a lot
hand,
to do,
Dr.
but yes,
Mhm.
I am. I tell him what to do. He just does the
She
work.
does it great.
Smart.
But I love walking, with the patient through the journey of what they're going to have
Mhm.
done, trying to decide what they want. Of course, he explains, and if it's an implant, whether they want saline silicone, or silicone, or what they need. Some people need to do it in first part 1, part 2, just depending.
So are you do you speak to the patient before they see the doctor?
Yes, and I get all the information, and then I book their surgery once they're ready. I book the surgery and just everything with it, and I go in with him also when he sees the patient.
Sometimes I don't know for other women, but women, we love to be with other women, and we just like that. I wouldn't say approval, but we like to get that second opinion of a female, because men sometimes they miss the smaller things, and women, we seem to notice everything. We're more detail oriented.
Well, you'd be surprised. He notices everything.
No, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't say that.
It comes with being a plastic surgeon. I think
Yeah.
kind of that mindset is
Mhm.
part of what led me into the profession.
Well, we were speaking the other day, and when you were talking about how when you were in college, plastic surgery was not your first choice. That just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting when you were talking about that, because that it was from one profession, a completely different profession, to this one now.
Yeah.
So let's touch on that. What was your first initial? Which direction were you going
I
to
had
take?
great mentors when I was a kid, you know, in high school, and my biggest mentors were in the sciences. And so my first love was science. And that led me to study science. So I went into university here at Rice
Mm-hmm.
with a scholarship to study chemistry and chemical engineering, thinking that I would continue having the deep passion and love for it. And it wasn't really what the fantasy was in my head about it. The
Right.
reality was a little bit different. And so I decided that medicine was going to be a better fit for me. So I probably late in college, I decided I was going to go to medical school. And so
Really?
the day after I
Yeah.
decided, and we
Yeah.
talked about this, the day that after I had that aha moment that, you know, this is not for me, I want to do something in medicine, I went to the counselors the next morning and took a turn and went in that direction.
And then you decided you wanted to do medicine. And what moment did you decide you wanted to do plastic surgery? Because
Yeah.
there's many different fields in medicine.
Again, it was sort of a evolutionary process for me.
Mhm.
I in medicine, my thought was I was going to do something in internal medicine because my dad had a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I actually did it, I discovered internal medicine was not for me.
Would you say you're a people person? As this is
I
why?
think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And surgery was a better fit. And then eventually plastic surgery was like the ultimate. I mean, I had arrived on the top of the mountain, I thought, when I had gotten to plastic surgery.
Why did you finally decide on plastic surgery?
Because it was a perfect fit for me. It was both the rigor of science with art, and I'd
That's
always been kind of
Yeah.
artistic
Yeah.
since I was a kid.
That's what I was going to ask you, because plastic surgery is an art. So do you consider yourself to be an artist? Because you're first, you started out as an engineer, somebody that works with numbers, not so much creative or artistic. Now you're in a completely different field.
Right. Gosh, I don't want to define myself as an artist because it's a little bit pretentious to do that.
You think so?
Maybe, but I recognize that to have those skills puts me, I think, in a higher level of category and allows me to do my job more successfully. I think if I had not that skill or that interest, that I wouldn't be half as good at plastic surgery.
Well, and we also have to let the viewers know that you are double board certified. And I was looking in your website, you have achieved a lot of accolades academically. You were also, what is it called? It's cum laude. I can't even
Magna
pronounce it.
cum laude.
Yeah, so I mean, you are a very intelligent, gifted doctor that So I would say you're an artist. I would say definitely you're on top of your game.
Well, thank you.
Definitely is. He definitely is.
I think whatever I decide to do, I want to do it to the best of my ability. I don't do anything halfway. It's all the way. And so if it meant, studying very hard and achieving that success,
Mhm.
then that's kind of
Well,
my
I know
personality.
Digna was looking at your website and she's like, "Oh my God, he's done so much work."
Yeah. I was very impressed. How long have you been a plastic surgeon now? How long
In
have
private
you-
practice, now
Yeah.
21 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how have things changed? Like I mean, you start off 20 years ago. It's probably much different. What was your most highly sought after plastic surgery 20 years ago to now.
To today's
Yeah.
friends.
I think the ones that were sought after 21 years ago still remain very highly sought after
And which
today.
one are those?
Well, for women, breast surgery
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
high up on the list.
That's the first one I was thinking.
And
Yeah.
for men and women, probably body contouring,
But
liposuction.
that hasn't really been such a trend till I think the last 10 years or a little bit under that the body contouring has been such a big trend.
Well,
Yeah.
I think BBLs have been more of a trend now.
Yes.
Body contouring and like liposuction have always kind of been in demand.
Right.
I mean, especially after babies and stuff. So
And I
Definitely.
think through time, because that's what I wanted to ask you, like plastic surgery, what do you see that's mostly trending? Like you said, the BBLs, because I know back in the day, I was thinking like the 90s, it was slimmer physique, bigger breasts, and now we've moved into a more hourglass figure with the bigger bottoms, still the big
Yeah.
breasts, smaller waist. So it's I think that it has evolved so much the way that women want to look these days.
I totally agree with you. I think that comes from social media. I think that comes from personalities that are very prominent, both on TV and social media, and that people look up to. I don't need to name them; people know who we're talking
Yes.
about.
yeah.
And they have been definitely instrumental in sort of setting a trend for fuller, curvy women.
Well, I also think that it has to do with the melting pot that has been more accepted now, because back in the day, back in the 90s, it was very Caucasian prominent. And nowadays it's like people that you see, you're going to see the Armenians, you're going to see the Latinas, you're going to see the, the African Americans, and that just by default are much more curvier,
And I was going to say that before, I feel like maybe plastic surgery wasn't as open. It wasn't talked as open as we are today. People talk about it more.
Sorry guys, we got
Yeah,
disconnected.
we are back. It was too hot for Facebook Live.
Talking about curvy women.
Okay.
But I feel that now it's a little bit more socially acceptable to talk
Yeah.
about it. And when someone says, "Oh, you look great," and somebody will automatically volunteer that information and say, "Oh, I had this done, girl. Go to my doctor.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Look how awesome I look. I feel so good." And I think before women were just embarrassed to talk about it, and I think it's just so much easier, especially with these television personalities. I wouldn't say they've glorified it, but they just made it seem a little bit more relatable.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, the moment that I get some plastic surgery done, I am going to blast that everywhere. I'll be like, look what I got done.
That's what I tell everybody. The moment I get something done, you guys you're going to hear all about it, because I'm going to be doing this. I want everybody to know, because I want y'all to know that I had it done.
Yeah,
And it's
definitely.
true. It's true. Everybody loves. I mean, I always say, yes, I've had this done. I've had that done, and it's fun, and people love it. Oh my God!
And can you tell the viewers how old you are, and then look at how fabulous you are?
I'm 56. I just turned 56
Yes.
a week ago.
Yeah.
You look like you are in your early
Thank
40s.
you.
That's when you told me when I seen you last. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. And 56, that's amazing. That's that's the goal, is to grow old beautifully, gracefully, not overdoing it, just taking care of yourself. Yesterday, someone quoted, what is it? To be young and beautiful is a given, but to be old and beautiful is an art.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
I think that was Mr. Chapa.
I didn't want that to go to his head, so I was trying not to give him credit. But yes, and it's true, because if you can grow old looking the best version of you,
Right.
and can you imagine how that does wonders for your self-esteem, your confidence, and just everybody perceives you in a different way because you feel so good about yourself.
I think in the end, that's what plastic surgery is all about. It's not about changing your appearance for someone else. It's really changing your appearance so that you feel your best.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look your best and feel your best, you are your best.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So tell us a little bit about all the different procedures that you guys do here in house.
Oh gosh, we do many different things. Surgery. I'm a plastic surgeon, so what the focus of my practice is plastic surgery.
Right, yeah.
What are
And
your favorite
so
procedures?
I love breast and body work.
So
I
like
love breast and body.
liposuction.
Body contouring of all kinds,
Yeah.
you know, for women who have had babies, getting their stomach back to how it was or even better than
Yeah.
before pregnancies.
Right.
Giving them, accentuating the curvy feminine shape that I think many women want and deserve to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been talking about BBLs. I mean, that's been popular for
Very
several years now, and it is not slowing down.
Yeah.
Women still want to
And
have that done.
And I think we have to get away, and especially men, if you are with your women and you know they've had babies, sometimes there's things that happen internally, like where you have the diastasis with the muscle separation. It doesn't matter how many crunches they do, it's
Yes.
not going to go away. That's something that needs to be addressed
And
surgically.
remember when we spoke with the personal trainer, he says that no matter that actually doing so many crunches and sit-ups, it's bad. It doesn't help tighten your abdomen.
Yeah, exactly. Boobs. It doesn't matter how many, you know, whatever. You're not going to get boobs. You're going to get pecs. You're not going to get boobs. So those are certain things. Rhinoplasties. If you have a larger nose, it doesn't matter what you do. If that's something that makes you insecure,
Yes.
the only thing that's going to fix it is going to be plastic surgery.
And for all my ladies out there, all the mommies that are interested in tummy tucks, mommy makeovers, I want to ask you about belly buttons because that's a big deal for
That
women.
is a big deal.
So please talk to us about belly buttons.
Well, part of what happens with an abdominoplasty or tummy tuck is getting a new belly button.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when there's a lot of loose skin in the center part of the stomach, the
Mhm.
belly button doesn't look great. It's kind of hidden. There may be a fold of skin above it that makes it look sad, or and part of what is done with a tummy tuck is all that loose skin is removed. The remaining skin is stretched down, so it's much flatter and smoother.
Mm-hmm.
And then the belly button basically stays exactly where God put it, right in the center of the tummy. But all the loose skin around it gets removed. And so what I end up doing is making another small incision in that skin that gets pulled over the top of the belly button, and a brand new belly button is formed that makes it look a whole lot better.
Because I know for women that consider this surgery, that's one thing that they really look at, and they go through the internet and they're looking at all types of tummy tucks and
Right.
seeing what does it look like, because they want to wear the midriffs, they want to show it off, so they want to feel proud and confident in that surgery. So I know because I hear it all the time, belly buttons. So, and what's something else?
Do you guys do anything face? Do you guys?
A lot.
I do a lot of face work now. You know, one of the things that happens as my practice has matured is that my patients have matured. And so now the ones that are closer to my age, you know, in their 50s and older, are starting to come in for rejuvenation of their faces. And it could be simple procedures, and it could be more complex procedures. But that's one thing that I'm seeing more of in my practice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a natural fit.
Like what? Like just like facelifts or?
Facelifts, neck lifts, eyelid lifts, brow lifts. Even one of the other things that happens with aging is that the fat in the cheeks tends to go away. So one of the natural ways of enhancing that and making the person look more youthful is to borrow some fat from somewhere else and add a little bit so that it have
That's
a little
Gives you
bit.
more youthful,
Yeah.
because we lose collagen as we age.
And it's the most natural filler. I mean, people are always
Yeah.
out there getting all kinds of fillers, and I'm not opposed to fillers because they're very easy to do, and patients love the effect. But in the end, your own fat is the best filler for you.
Now, question. Now, how long does the fat last in your face? Because with fillers, you have to go back every 6 months. You know.
That's definitely one of the benefits of your own fat, is that it's not in short supply. We can borrow as much or as little as we want. And once we place it in the new area of the face, and we also do, it's part of what is done with the BBL. We move fat from one
Right.
area
Sure,
to
yeah.
the buttock.
That type of procedure that you're talking about, Dr. Fortes, is that like an inpatient procedure? Is that a major type of procedure? Is that similar to when you get injections like Botox or fillers?
No, it doesn't have to be major at all. As a matter of fact, if it's just a standalone procedure and adding a little volume to the face, it can even be done in the office under local anesthesia.
So how does that even work? Okay, so where are you harvesting the fat from if you're under local anesthesia?
A lot of times, it's harvested from the lower part of the abdomen. Just underneath the skin. We just need a few tablespoons of fat, not very much, and we process it and collect it in small syringes, and we literally inject it
Wow.
into the area to restore fullness.
And when you speaking that you do that in house, because here at the Kimberly location, this is where you do the surgeries.
Yes.
Our surgery center is here. And
Yeah.
even when we see patients at the post-oak office, I mean, we see patients there, but this is where our surgery center is. So they come here for the surgery. And we have a full spa in both offices.
So that would also lower the cost because they're not doing it at a hospital.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's exactly right. Well, we have our own surgery center, as Virgie mentioned. It's a beautiful facility with 4 ORs and great staff and board certified anesthesiologists. And so I tell every patient when they have their surgery that they're going to have 2 doctors in the room taking care of them.
Well, I know because I had surgery in my ankle. People don't realize how important it is when you have anesthesia. You have to make sure that person is completely capable, because that's very dangerous when you're going under completely asleep. So that's very scary.
Exactly. Well, anesthesia, it's its own entire field. And
Yes.
the anesthesiologists, that's what their training is and expertise is. And so that's why we have them on board as part of our practice.
Yeah, I've had general anesthesia twice. When I had my twins, I had to have an emergency C-section, and that was very quick. And then the next time was when I had surgery to put screws in my ankle, and I forgot to do that. So when I was at the hospital, they said, "Wait, you have not done your paperwork for the anesthesia." So I'm literally in the operating room, and they're reading me, and I'm like, but you are going to put anesthesia on me, right? They're like, yes, you're fine. We're going to do this. I was so scared that I was not going to have any anesthesia, but I was so, I guess my state of mind, I was really sad that I had to have screws in my ankle because I thought it was just a sprained ankle. So I was like in denial, I guess, till the day that I had surgery, and it was great. I mean, the doctor did an amazing job. It never hurts. And it's been 6-7 years since then.
I wanted to talk to the viewers, ladies, gents. If you guys have any questions for the doctor, please write them in, and we can ask them. We're gonna be here for the next 10 minutes or so. Other question. Okay, so what are some of the procedures that males have been getting a lot lately?
Just as I mentioned, liposuction is one of the top procedures that women come in for. Same with men.
Same with men.
They want to
There
look
you
good
go,
too.
guys.
They want their
All
bodies to look.
Get that
better.
dead bod under control before the summer.
I've actually seen when men the
etching.
the ass.
Now, do you do that? The
Yes.
etching? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you use? Because I tend to research a lot of plastic surgery. Is it just through the cannula, or what method do you use?
The technique. People are always sometimes over focus on the technique or the instruments or the procedure. It's really the art of doing the procedure in the hands of a competent, experienced surgeon.
I would say you would take your time, make sure that everything is coming. You're not rushing through the surgery or not trying to meet some kind of time frame. You take
Never.
Also, another question when it comes to liposuction, since you do a lot of body contouring, what happens to the skin? Like, does it retract?
With liposuction?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of what I counsel patients about. One of the reasons why liposuction works is that you have to have a skin that's capable of shrinking over the area where the fat's removed.
And that's something that you would discuss with the patient.
That's right.
In consultation.
Right.
You would let them know their expectations so they're not disappointed or or they decide to go through with it and then they're upset because something didn't go the way they
That's,
expected.
the education process is
Mhm.
probably one of the most important parts of
Right.
my job is not just examining patients, but explain to them why they're a good candidate for one operation versus another
Mhm.
operation.
Mhm.
And so with liposuction, because it is so popular, it does require that the skin be be adequately elastic for it to shrink. Not all skin is exactly the same. People can have very tight, great quality skin, especially when they're young. And as we all get older, the skin laxity or
And
elasticity
would
tends to
you
go
would you
away.
say that that has a lot to do with we put in our bodies, like what we eat, how we if we exercise? I know, for example, my mom is 70 and she has the most amazing skin. She is, her skin is it's probably like my skin, and her bottom is still she still has not had gravity hit her. She's 70 years
Wow.
old.
Wow.
And that's
Awesome.
just not my mother, that's her sister as well. And I don't know if it's because the way that they eat versus to the way that the younger generation eats and we put in our bodies, they were just, I guess they weren't eating as many processed foods, because I feel that, my skin's probably not as retractable as would be my mother's or
You have
like my
great
aunt's.
skin though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
But when I see my mom and I'm thinking 70 years old, like, Mom, like, how do you look like that? She has the most beautiful skin. It's like blemish free, like there's no
Right.
scars on her, no stretch marks. Literally, it's beautiful.
Well, there are many things that people can do to keep their skin looking its best. A lot of the things that are damaging to the skin, cigarette smoking, excessive sun exposure,
Mhm.
we can completely control. Other things are beyond our control, our genetics. The genes that we have, that we inherit from our parents and grandparents, we're either blessed or not blessed with those genes. And so
then that's
maybe
when
your
plastic
mom did
surgery
both.
comes in.
That's right.
And for the ones that necessarily maybe weren't blessed with the best quality or the best genes, then yeah, they can. It doesn't matter. I mean, we can do plastic
And
surgery.
I want to get off
improve them.
slightly off topic of the body because we just got a question that said they want to know about the O shot.
Do you guys do the O shot in
You know,
house?
because you were talking to me about some stuff.
We do it. I don't do it, but I have
There you go, Laura.
practitioners in my practice to do it.
Yes.
Laura Portales asked if they do the O shot. Now, for those in viewing, if they don't know what the O shot is, can you guys explain to us what the O shot is?
The O shot, I think, is an enhancement of the female experience with usually hyaluronic acid fillers injected into a spot in a woman's anatomy to
Your vagina, guys.
your vagina.
Your vagina, guys.
You can tell he's a doctor. He's using very technical words.
It's okay. Most of the ones watching have
I'm
one.
trying to keep it PG for your audience.
You're like, I don't want Facebook to shut you down again. I don't want Facebook to shut you down.
Yeah, it's a shot injected inside the vagina so that a woman's sexual experience can be made better.
Mhm.
And do you have other versions or alternatives of that type of service? So I know you were talking to me about something that was very interesting.
Well, we were talking about the vaginoplasty,
Right.
the
Right.
the labioplasty. That women-
That's another area that's
Yeah.
become really, really popular and really hot. And it used to be something that people didn't talk
Very
about.
taboo.
Yeah.
Exactly, and now it's something that's talked about openly.
Well, I've been hearing the term designer
What?
nowadays. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately. So I guess it's a thing, So like women are wanting to have a designer.
Well, and I'm sure that if it's something's not even or it's because of childbirth or just because you were born that way, that
Yeah.
it can be a discomfort down there.
Oh, yeah.
But some people just want it for the vanity because they want to have a nice looking vagina.
In the end, it comes to confidence. If you're concerned about how things look there, and it affects your level of confidence, then fix it.
And I think some of the women have discomfort too, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes, I would assume so.
Yeah.
And you have done all these surgeries. What do you feel is your greatest achievement or your greatest satisfaction of any particular surgery that you've done that you always go back to that you think about that you're so proud of that you said, wow, I really love what I did here.
It's trying to do my best work every single time
Mm-hmm.
and seeing how that affects an individual and their outlook on life and their self-esteem. I had one woman recently who had lost a lot of weight and came to me because she had loose skin in multiple different areas of her body, and so I did an operation to correct the loose skin.
Mm-hmm.
And when one of her follow-up visits, she literally just broke down, became very emotional,
I
and
can
cried, and said that
imagine.
this was the very first time that she felt good about herself.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's hard, especially I would say, if you've always grown up thin and you've been blessed with good looks or great body, you don't really understand sometimes what other women or even men are struggling with, that because you don't have that problem. So sometimes it's not that you don't sympathize, but you just don't relate. And so it's I guess it's a little sad sometimes when people don't feel good about themselves. But don't get me wrong, people that are attractive also have their hang-ups. There's certain things about themselves they don't like or they wish they could change. But I feel like it's so amazing with plastic surgery that they can make themselves feel better, be a better version of themselves. Because I always say, you are the you're ever gonna be. And if something makes you happy, go for it. No one cares, honestly. We're just. I think if women would stand together and be more
Supportive, yeah, and not really talk down, or it's like, oh my gosh, did you see what so and so had done? I mean, honestly, it's kind of catty,
It
and
is.
it's like, if it makes your girlfriend feel better, then support them. If you know that it's because it's something that's not in their control, they and they feel bad about, then support them.
I agree. And like I think that if that's something that makes you happy, if you can afford it, if you have the means for it, then do it. Do whatever is gonna make you feel the best possible version of yourself. Honestly, whether you've had it or you don't have it, I think that's okay. It doesn't matter. I don't have, like I said, I haven't had it done. I'm always talking about I want to do the body contouring.
Oh, I want a couple things done. So I want a couple things done. And I do get that flex, like, yo, you're fine or whatever, it's like, but it's
Don't
something
you hate
that,
that when you want to get something done and people are like, oh, why? You're perfect. I mean, it's not that you don't think you look good, but you just want.
right.
There's always room for improvement or looking better. I think so.
Absolutely. And then also you kind of touched on the part of being able to afford it. Now, do you guys offer financing on these procedures? Because some of them can run up to in the tens of thousands. Am I
Right.
correct? So,
Yes, and we everything, patient come in and they pay cash, credit card, or personal check, and we do accept care credit.
Mhm.
So you can apply for care credit online, carecredit.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you fill out a short application, you submit it, they right away reply to you saying you've been approved and for how much.
And
so
let's
we use that.
and let's talk about consultation. Is there a fee for consultation? Is the consultation complimentary?
We do have $100 consultation fee, and if you call and say you've heard us on the social shoulder, we'll give you a free consultation.
and there you
You
go,
hear that,
guys.
guys?
Just say you heard us through the heard you through the social soda.
And you know what? There's no obligation. Come get your consultation. See what are your options. It's completely free. I would say somebody would come in here and say, I just want to know. But somebody is most likely 99% going to walk out of here scheduling, I'm
Right.
coming in, get something done. But,
We're happy to help everybody.
Yes. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I love looking at before and after pictures.
I'm obsessed with it.
I'm so
obsessed
obsessed.
with it.
I follow so many plastic surgeons on my
too.
social media, and I love it. It gives me so much pleasure to see when people like the dramatic difference, and I love
Yes.
to see when women are excitement to see women do it, and when the difference in their attitude from once they get it done to after the type of pictures they're posting, they're more confident about themselves. So
Definitely.
they're doing more of the selfies. They're showing their bodies off. It's so amazing to see that.
I mean, let's take a look at Kylie Jenner. she was the forgotten girl in that whole situation.
Well, now she's
and she
billionaire.
now has
Yes.
lips. She completely transformed her face, and now she is the youngest billionaire. I mean, just having that self-confidence
Exactly.
is
And it's so
Incredible.
crazy because when that the show was in its full glory, you always wondered, okay, Kim's got this, the other one's got that, Kendall's a model, and what's Kylie gonna do? Like, she was literally gonna be the forgotten one, and she just like she was a
kills
game
it.
changer.
Yes,
She was definitely a game changer. So anything else? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do we go with this?
I'm going to continue doing what I do and what I love doing. And
love-
this
So am
lady
I.
on my side.
Well, Virgie's a little powerhouse. She's got Dr.
Yeah.
Fortes all over town.
Love it. We love
And you
it.
know what? It's amazing to see the great work relationship between you both.
It is.
You know, and I think that makes it for a successful team because
Definitely.
you guys work and complement
Absolutely.
each other
Oh,
so
definitely.
well. And so it just makes it for a great experience for the patient as well. So you guys are having fun.
Exactly. We do have a lot of fun.
We
Actually.
do.
And
We do.
the communication and we understand each other. Sometimes he'll say something and I finish it, and or vice
Wow.
versa. And it's like, oh my God.
It's a little bit scary sometimes.
That is
but it's great. I mean, we both love. I
Mhm.
love what I do,
you can
and
tell.
I the most important thing, I have a passion for it because I believe in him. I was a patient before I started working for him, so I believe in him and his work, and I mean, I'm always in wow.
Aw.
He gives it his all. So it's like
You're you're the work wife, the work partner.
Yes,
you're
yes,
you're his
definitely.
cheerleader. You're
Yeah,
building him up,
yes.
cheerleading him. You can do this, you
Definitely.
got
I
this.
love it.
And
So,
it shows, and it shows you guys have such great work chemistry. You know,
Yeah,
it's,
we
even
do.
when the first time we met, it's you guys are just like an awesome team. So that's I guess very reassuring for other people that you guys their slate makes everything because we're all about energy here. So
Mhm.
if the energy is positive, it translates into everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy because of the frequency. If something's off,
I'll be the first one to back
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
I can tell you that right now. I will be the first one to back out.
you're like, I'm not feeling this, can't. Yeah.
but
So-
it is amazing.
Anything else that you guys want to tell our viewers or that you want to inform them about?
Just to come on by and see us, if you give my direct line,
Yes, and how can
And,
they reach you?
713-354-5123. That's my direct line. And my email is Virgie, VIRGIE @mybeautifulbody.com. So email me, call me. It's a free consult for you for having us on the show and for everybody. And so I'd be happy to talk to you, schedule a consultation, and meet both of us in
And
person.
On Monday, you both are at the Post Oak location,
Yes,
and then
yes.
from Tuesday to Friday here at the Kimberly location.
Yes, and we see patients at the Kimberly office on Thursdays, every Thursdays. So those are the 2 days of the
Mhm.
week that we see patients, Mondays and Thursdays.
So how far out are you booked out?
Wow, we're into April, May.
So
Wow.
ladies, gentlemen, if you come in,
It's a
don't think
popular
that
time of the
yeah,
year.
don't
Yes.
think that
Well,
you're gonna
summer
get
bodies,
in. Yes.
summer
So
bodies.
guys, plan accordingly. If you
Mhm.
have a wedding that you want to go to in October, give
Right.
yourself enough time for healing,
Yes.
for dropping, for de-inflammation, all of that
we
stuff.
did not discuss that. What is the typical recovery time for most of the surgeries? Is it like 4, 6, 8 weeks?
That's an awesome question, and really, the healing process can take, in some cases, a year or longer. Now, it doesn't mean that people are
Wow.
going to be tied up in their homes
Yeah.
without interacting with their friends or with
Mm-hmm.
their family for a year. No, but it's a process. I would say probably to return to a light kind of job, depending upon what surgery is done, probably a week to 2 weeks. To return to more vigorous exercise, maybe a month to 2 months.
So let me just throw out a few procedures. Like, let's say someone gets a tummy tuck. You don't want them at the gym in 2-3
next
weeks
week.
trying to do, HIIT training or anything
Right.
crazy.
No, but they're going to be walking immediately.
Yes.
That's the surprising thing. People think, oh, I'm going to be in my home in a bed for 2 weeks. No, they're walking the next day.
And what about with the BBL procedures? How soon is that recovery time for that?
Similar.
Similar?
Similar. Yeah, the big thing for mommy makeovers in particular, where tummy tucks are done, that it's important not to do any strenuous exercise or stress on the muscles, because it's the muscle repair that needs time to heal properly. And I would say probably a 6 to 8 week period to go back to the gym where you're doing more vigorous exercise.
Question on mommy makeover and whatnot. Let's say you have 2 kids, you were thinking about maybe having a third one. Would you recommend doing the whole mommy makeover before having that third child, or would you suggest waiting?
I get that question asked a lot, and my answer is this: if it's something that the couple is actively planning, that it's on their radar, complete their family, and then come in and we can discuss.
Well, that
about
would
getting
make
the body
sense
better.
because they would stretch the body out
Yeah.
yet again and then have to probably get it done for a second time. And I don't know, but I would think that would probably be painful. Why go through it twice? You know, just go ahead and, like you said, get your family, and then go ahead and get all what you want done.
But also the question that comes up is that what if in the future I may have a baby? No, you're talking about theoretical terms. You can have body contouring, you can have tummy tucks, and if you get pregnant in the future, that's okay. You know what? You'll have a normal pregnancy.
Really?
And you may or may not get the degree of stretching that you had previously.
Even if that skin has been stretched out, it'll still stretch again.
Because not all pregnancies affect the body equally. I mean, I've
Okay.
had some women who have had 1 or 2 children, and their bodies look pretty darn good. And surprisingly, their skin looks great. And then other women who have the opposite experience. Yeah, some women have the opposite experience. 1 baby, and their skin's really stretched out. So I guess it depends on the individual person.
Yes, and that all goes back to the elasticity of the skin and all of that.
Right.
So.
My mom's so funny. She asked me, she'll be watching the Spanish TV, and she's like, I don't understand how these women have babies and then their body looks so great. I'm like, let me open up the internet for you. Let me show you, Mom. Let me show you, Mom. So, well, guys, thank you so much. I know that you guys have to go back upstairs to go see clients. We just wanted to say a quick hi for a couple people that joined in. The Savi group, Tin joined in. He said, hi, beautiful ladies. Gents, too. Sonia joined in. Jonathan Espinoza, Eunice Bell, and Marilyn Flores.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah. So, wait, Marilyn asked, are butt injections a real thing? Are butt injections a real thing?
It depends on what kind of injections. I would advise patients or people who desire to have fuller buttocks to do things safely, and that probably means 2 options. And I think the number 1 option is using your own fat.
Yeah.
And the alternative would be a buttock implant for those patients who are so lean that they hardly have any fat to move around.
And I wanted to say, because how you hear these horror stories in the internet of women that go to these places and they get these butt injections with silicone, and they don't realize how dangerous that is. There's people that have actually passed away because of complications. So always try to seek someone who's board certified, who is definitely qualified. That is your body. Take care of your body. Don't put something you wouldn't put in your car. Don't put that in your body either.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, if you're going to do something to your body and you're going to purchase a procedure, you need to be obsessive with it and do as much research on the plastic surgeon, the actual procedure, what, the complications can be, and just get really knowledgeable about it.
And aside from your website, doctor, is there any websites, or you, Virgie, that would recommend the viewer to go to and look and research anything? Because I know the internet can also be very finicky and there's a lot of misleading information, but if they're interested in finding more about a procedure or just plastic surgery in general, where would you recommend that they research that?
All board certified plastic surgeons, or most of them who focus their careers on aesthetic plastic surgery, are members of an organization called the American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery. So they can go on their website. There's a lot of information there, great information and good information. So they've already done the filtering out of the information that I think is going to be good to read, rather than information that you don't know who the author is or what quality information you're reading.
Does the Plastic Society, like .org, do they have a website that people can go on and look at?
ASAPS, ASAPS .org.
Okay. That way, if they just want to do a little research, like
Yeah.
from a valid source.
Right.
Okay.
It's important.
Well, guys, thank you so
Yes.
much. And again, if you are interested in getting plastic surgery, need to find out more information, please give Virgie a call here at the Aesthetic Center for
Yes.
Plastic Surgery. So, and again, give that phone number one more time.
713-354-5123.
There
And I
you have
just
it,
want to
guys.
reiterate, guys, that they perform their surgeries here. So if anything, if they have everything at their disposal, you know, a quick of a hand. And what else was I going to say? I completely forgot. So they do all their procedures here. So if anything, they have everything that they need here. All their other doctors are here as well.
Right.
It's a certified facility,
Yes.
so they know they're coming to a place that has safety in mind. I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
It's
You guys have seen
gorgeous.
it.
And now I also remember. Now I remember what I was going to say. Doctors board certified with over 21 years of experience, not only in plastic surgery but general surgery. So you are in the best possible hands, and with his amazing coordinator Virgie. So they make for a great team.
Mhm.
So you guys will feel 100% safe,
Yes.
and you know you're in good hands. I can't say that enough. You guys are in great hands. You know, so.
Thank
Said if you guys are interested, if you call in and you say that you saw this on the social soda, they will waive that $100 consultation fee.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, Dr. Virgie, thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much
joining
for
us.
having
I
us.
know
It's
you
been
guys
our pleasure to
are
be
very
here.
Thank you
busy.
so much.
And
Thank you for letting us pick your brain a little.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure
He
that
loves
We
that.
need to
He's
do
good
it
at
again.
yeah, we will come back anytime. So I know that a lot of ladies out here will probably not pick up the phone to make that phone call. So it's a really great introduction, and that's what we wanted to bring you guys. So
That is not intimidating at all, guys.
yeah,
You can speak to the
No.
lovely Virgie. She will walk you through it all.
Yes.
Hold your hand if you need it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we have a very special show with the Caffeinated Show.
Yes.
We will be airing on Wednesday
at 11.
at 11. Yes. So please tune in on that. And we will also have, going back to this episode, we will have all of the information. We will have Virgie's number and email address in the description
Yes.
box. So please reach out and don't forget to mention the social soda
And
to get
I
the
also
$100
want
off.
to add one last thing. Since you guys are very well aware that we are campaigning with the Red Production, we will be airing our episodes for about a month on
On Friday.
Fridays.
Yeah.
So guys, stay tuned for that. We will not be filming on Thursdays for at least a month or so. We're going to be filming on Fridays. So just stay tuned for that. We'll always keep you updated and send y'all reminders of when we're airing.
Yeah.
But next week is Wednesday, and we will be with the Great Caffeinated Show.
And one last thing, if you know anyone that is thinking about getting plastic surgery, a mommy makeover, anything, go ahead and tag them on this episode.
Yes.
It's such a great episode. There's so much information on there. So I'm sure that they'll
Completely agreed. Yes.
appreciate you.
Yes.
So, well, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week.
See you guys. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.